What you don't know about strength conditioning scares you out of doing it. And if you're curious about working with us and having expert programming, go ahead and click the link below to learn more. But I'm with you about this. Like, what you don't know is tends to be kind of scary. It's like, well, you're unfamiliar with it. You're probably going to suck at the thing. What if you look stupid? Oh, all these. It's amazing how many ideas run through your head to get you to stop from doing the thing. It's like, you ever have to reach an extra long distance to switch on a light in a room that's dark, and it's amazing in those 3 seconds that it takes, and probably less than 3 seconds, it takes to flip on that light, how many unreasonable thoughts run through your head, like what monsters are there, is there a burglar, is somebody here to hurt me, it's like so absurd, but they go through your head in a flash. Now, what happens over the course of long periods of time, like your drive to the gym that you might want to join, or your drive to a personal trainer? And like I said, I'm with you. Like for instance, I think polo seems kind of like an interesting game. I've never played it before, and I think I would be terrified to just walk into a polo club and be like, "Hey, can I have a mallet?" Because I've never done it. And I think I've been in a weight room. I've been in a weight room weekly. I've spent time in a weight room weekly since 1997. Every single week. I bet you, I don't know, if I could say that I've gone a whole week without walking into a weight room since 1997, that's kind of crazy, but it's probably accurate. That's when I really started strength conditioning. Before that, it was like, I usually tell the story about harassing the weight set in my grandma's basement, which is true, but I only had access to that maybe 3 to 4 times a month. The real lifting, the majority of the lifting that I did was actually behind my dad's shed on a farm. It was just this iron pit with these old axles and tractor parts and heavy things. And I basically just tried to emulate what I saw the American Gladiator guys doing. But anyway, the thing that scares you out of doing it is just being unfamiliar with it. 1987, so yeah, 25 years, I did my math right. 25 years of being in a weight room means that I am very familiar with all of this stuff. And when I first started doing this stuff, it was super, it just seemed really simple. It was like, oh, you just lift weights and you get big and strong, and it's awesome. And then I started getting into it, and eventually I had so many exercises in my repertoire that I couldn't just put them all into every single workout. And then it got kind of complicated. I was like, wait, how do people program? Which exercises do you do on what days with what rep schemes, how much weight? And then it got really complicated when I started training other people. Because then you're dealing with other circumstances that before you're just training yourself, right? And then you start training other people, and you're like, man, this gets really complicated. And then I was training other trainers how to do what I was doing, and then I was trying to, but I do think that there is a point where I hate to claim master status or something like that, but I've been doing this for a really long time, and I'm a nut, and I've read a lot of books and been to a lot of conferences, met with a lot of coaches, and had a lot of coaches. So, I mean, if I'm not a master at this point, I don't know. It just sounds kind of, I don't know, egotistical maybe. I don't know what the word would be. But anyway, at first it seems really simple. Then you get into it, it gets really complicated. And on the back end, it's like, oh, this was really simple all along. And I think ultimately you'll find that when you first show up, it's scary. And then you start getting into it and you're like, less scary, more fun. And then eventually it's just this is a great time. Why didn't I do this sooner? I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I wish I would have done this 20 years ago. But if you're scared of doing this, you're going to end up not doing what you know is best for you. That's what it's going to come down to. You know what's best for you, probably. You know that you should probably go exercise. So what is best for you is usually the thing that we're kind of scared to do. And that's where it kind of comes down to just doing it anyway. You don't really get courage on the front end of the thing to do the thing. You kind of get courage on the back. Courage is like a byproduct of doing the scary thing. You get it on the back end. Just like you don't get muscle and then you start lifting weights. You start lifting weights and then your muscles get stronger. So anyway, what you don't know about strength conditioning is what is holding you back from doing it. And this is kind of why you hire an expert. But anyway, if you're interested in working with us, go ahead and click the link below to learn more.